Well, these cards are so cute. So let's get started with card number one. You're going to do a little prep first. Rub off that film off of on your arm on the "Hey There" sentiment. Get your mist ink out, and we're going to just tip it slightly to the left on there to kind of make room for all the parts that are going to go on here. So that's the "Hey There" and mist ink, and then pull up your friend piece, and that's pretty tiny. Yep. Get that, use the lines that are on your blocks to help line that up, and then just, season that a little bit on your wrist. And then this can go more exactly horizontal under the "Hey There." And then we're going to grab the intense black. And there's these little weedy type things on here, I don't know what exactly you want to call them, but they look like weeds to me. And we're going to put some of them on the left side, one on the left side and one on the right side of that white piece down toward the bottom. And those are going to kind of look like they're coming out of the bucket and the jar later. So you don't have to be super, super precise about these because you're going to put the bucket and the jar over them anyway. So you'll find a way to fit them in later. So that is all the prep except, let me see, do I see? Yep, I'm grabbing my markers there. That's our new tool caddy, by the way, that I've got those in. And I'm going to use the lightest of the red, what is it, red, let me look at it here real quick. Red gray or red brown blend, and I'm just gonna draw a line under that real quickly. And then let's do these the bucket and the jar are going to be an intense black because we're going to be coloring those in with markers, so we want something that's not going to run. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. I just got back from Washington, D.C. It was super, super hot there. So muggy. All right. Get that all on there. Press hard on it and then get your jar. Make sure you season it. And we're going to do the same on that matching die cut there. And so for the jar, you're going to color in the red brown blend. And we're going to be using the light and middle red brown, and then for the barrel or the bucket or whatever you want to call it, we're going to be using the brown gray shades, and again the light and the medium on those. Really, really easy coloring job here. All I did was just fill the whole thing in with the lightest color first, and then I just went back and wherever the artist had put those little detail marks, lots of black lines and stuff, I just went over those with the medium. So go over the whole thing first in light, and then go back over just the black lines that you see with the medium, and that's all. You don't even have to really blend on this one. I think it looks better if you don't. We'll do about the same thing, I think, for the next card too. Another trick that you can do if you really want to add some blending in, which I don't think it needs, but you can go over the whole thing again. Once you've done those medium detail marks, you can go over the whole thing again with the light, and that does a little bit more blending. But on this particular one, I didn't think it really needed that because it already has those dark lines on anyway. So, yep, so now we're going to be using the brown gray shades. And again, I'm using the lightest first. I'm going to fill in the whole thing. What do you think of that tool caddy there? It's kind of convenient, It's I don't know what. It's about 12 inches long, maybe 3 inches wide, and it just has this kind of a rubbery material in it, so you can stick things, pens and scissors and all that stuff in it. I'm just using it for the first time, but it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm filling that all in with the light color. And then that's the brown gray, and then I'm going to go back over it in the medium color. Just on those detail lines, and you don't even have to catch every single one of them. It's just to add a little bit more accent. Just vary it up a little bit. You know, it's kind of like how when we were little kids, we would outline our color books, you know, the little images in the color books first. We just do it the opposite here. Or you could do it first. You can do the dark first and then the light afterwards too. Just like that. So simple. Now, if you're a real detailed person, there is nothing to say that you can't fussy cut these pieces down. They do leave a little white edge because they're cut out with die cuts. But if you want there to be no white around the outside edge, just fussy cut it. No big deal at all. And for this particular card, that might look cool because that will look more like the weeds are actually in the barrel and in the jar. So now we already prepared our piece with that mist, or is it mist, or what do I call it? Night gloss spray. And so it's got all the little dots on it. Are you going to see on the next card, I forget to do that first. So I will put a little reminder on the beginning of that video to do it first for the next card too. But you're going to need to do it 4 times for each card, don't forget, because you can make 4 cards out of each one of these designs. All right, so we're going to put that green right in the middle, and I believe your directions say that goes in about 1/4 inch from the edge. And then this piece, which is kind of, we'll call it a lined piece, is going to be 3/8 of an inch in from the left-hand side. And, yep, I think I was measuring that. I do like it to be straight. It doesn't bother me if it's not exactly the right measurement, but I do like it to be straight. So, and I think when I made this card, I got the brown polka dot piece a little bit, it was supposed to go 1 1/8 inch over, and I think I only went an inch over. So I just, you know, towards the end, I just put the little square sentiment piece on where it looked good. So that wasn't on precise. But it is 1 1/8 inch over from the left that it's supposed to go, and then evenly matched in between the top and the bottom of the card. So just like that. Nobody will ever know that I made a little tiny mistake on that. And then put your sentiment onto the matching mat. And then for this card, I decided to go ahead and pop that up. So I popped the sentiment up just because, I don't know, for some reason on this particular card, it felt a little bulky, and I didn't want to have an uneven, you know, I didn't want it to look uneven when I put it down. So I put some pop tape on the left-hand side. So where that brown polka dot is, I'm going to put that, when I turn this upside down, I'm going to make sure that pop tape is to the left of the brown polka dot, because the brown polka dot adds a whole other layer, and that's where I didn't want it to be uneven. So you can see I put the 2 strips on the right-hand side and 1 strip on the left-hand side. That leaves that space for where that brown polka dot is, and that way it just is a little bit more even on there with all that bulk of all those layers. Now, when I made the rest of these cards, I actually put this piece down flat because somehow they were much flatter. But this particular one just seemed like it was popped up quite a bit. So now I am going ahead and gluing down, and you could do this with pop tape too if you want to, the little bucket and the jar so that it looks like the weeds are coming out of it. And that's why I was saying if you wanted to fussy cut that, it would look even more like the weeds were coming out of it. Otherwise, there's that white line in between. So it's kind of up to how fussy you are about fussy cutting, right? Then pull out your, what are these, silver gems? Yeah, silver sparkly gems. And do the big one next to the word hey, and then the 2 little ones. And then we will put this whole thing on the card base. And you have a beautiful card here. And wait till you see the next one. I think the second one is my favorite. These are really gorgeous, and this paper pack is awesome. It's one I can just see using over and over again because of so many neutral colors in it. And imagine if you switched out that sage color for a different color. You know, that would look really good with a blue, you know, or like a dark red. I mean, just so many things you could put this with. So I'm just going to put this on the card base. And I folded that card base and, you know, pressed it down with my bone folder. And then I always line up with the fold because you can always trim the other side. And that is all she wrote, folks. Hope you love the card.